he's a very conventionally attractive guy, but he still had like typical interests as did every other person. And the funniest thing is a lot of these people that we put on a pedestal, they're just like the everyday person. It's just they happen to find something about them that they were able to work into an impressive quality and make other people respect them for it. And I'm not trying to downplay what they did at all, but what I'm trying to tell you is that in life, you should never shirk in the face of anyone. You should always maintain the idea that in your head, you are the best person in your own world. Like, no one can do it like you. There's a phrase that people like to frequently say, like, I'm him, or I'm her, if you want to change the gender pronoun for that. Phrases like those, like, that's what you should be telling yourself. Like, no matter what the situation is, no matter who you're talking to, no matter who it is that you're happening to understand a lesson from, there are still certain things about you that you should never give up or try to hide or be nervous about, no matter what the situation is. Now, another example I'd like to give you that age doesn't always imply wisdom is the Karen and the immaturity example. But before that, I want to give you a scenario. Let's say that there are 100 people in a room. All right, they're all 0 years old. And all of these people, they're 0 years old. They have to take a test in front of them. If they decide to keep repeatedly taking this test, like answering the questions, their knowledge and intelligence will continually go up as they age. But let's say out of these 100 people, 10 of them are feeling particularly lazy and they don't really feel like there's any reason for them to take this test. They're not going to do it because they just don't feel like doing it at all. So they're just going to sit there and look around the room, kick their feet around, just mess around because they don't want to actually take the test. But regardless of the fact that they don't want to take the test, all these 100 people continue to age as they sit in this room. So for every 10 hours that pass, they age by a year. So they go from 0 to 1 to 2 to 3, etc., so on and so on. The thing is, as these people age, you have people that are continuing to take the test and they're getting smarter and they're getting more intelligent, but you still have people that are sitting there as they're aging and just completely ignoring the test, still messing around. So let's say by the time they get to 40, you got people that are very intelligent, they're very smart, but you got people who are still sitting there twiddling their thumbs because they didn't want to take the test. And if it wasn't obvious already, this is a metaphor for life. There are so many people in this world that are older than you, that seem to be higher up than you in life, but in reality, these people are very immature and they have zero foundation on themselves. And the reason why I use Karens as an example is because we can agree as like human beings, a general consensus is it is very immature for there to be emotional outbursts in public. Like, no matter what you're going through, especially if you're irritated, you should try and not make it everyone else's problem and ruin everyone else's day. But with Karens, as we call them, there are people that literally get so mad in public that they go out and they start screaming. They make it everyone else's problem. They bother these poor workers more often than not that are just trying to do their job and make it everybody's problem. And obviously, it's emotionally immature because you're ruining other people's days, but you're also showing that you can't control your own emotions and that it is easy for your emotions to just come out like a flowing waterfall, like just that, and bother everyone else. But the funniest thing is, these people more often than not are like grown women. They're like 40s, they're in their 40s, their 30s, their 50s, they're old. And more often than not, they're older than you. If you happen to be like a younger viewer, they're older than you, yet they're still doing immature things and making themselves look like fools. And so what I'm trying to say is, for the final concluding message, age does not imply wisdom, because it is honestly a matter of how one person wants to make the most of their life that they will end up being in life. But the fact is, regardless of how much you make of your life, we are all going to age, no matter what. You can sit there for your entire life and do absolutely nothing, but after 100 years, you will be 100 years old. But the fact of that is that because there's not a lot of, or not that there is a lot of people, there isn't a lot of people, but because there are some people that don't choose to make the most of their lives and often choose to make the immature and easier choices, just because we all happen to be the same age or we're growing doesn't mean that they're necessarily utilizing their time as well as other people do. So, when it comes to people being older than you or holding a higher station than you, Don't automatically assume you need to bow down to them, but at the same time, show respect. Through conversation and interaction with them, you should gauge their character and determine whether or not this is someone that you should actually hold in regard. And when I say hold in regard, again, you're not bowing down to that person, but if that person is worth being respected, you both should be on even ground, regardless of position. Because like I've said so many times, we all have innate value. We all have value in ourselves. It doesn't matter if someone happens to be the CEO of a crazy business firm and you're still working a 9-to-5 retail job. You two still have that same value, because there are things about you as a human that make you not only a valuable member of society, but make you a valuable person overall. So position does not define who has more value. Don't let anyone ever tell you that because you happen to be in a lesser position or you happen to do something lesser compared to other people, that you have less value. So again, hold yourself in high regard. All right, don't be scared to talk your stuff, like walk the walk, like how people say, like in your own world, you are him, you are her, and no matter what another person is doing, you need to maintain that always. And don't always be intimidated by someone who is older than you, more popular than you, etc., etc., because you have your own value and you have things going for yourself that allow you to stand against anyone. Thank you.